Welcome to Gawne in 60 seconds. This is the Kia K4. It's Kia's Golf. Yes, it's a fun little sporty number. We're going to take a look around it, take a look inside it, and I'm going to tell you what I think. So first things first, it's very unmistakably Kia from the front, isn't it? You have got this low, very nice front sculpted bonnet with loads of accents here. You've actually got some vents down the side here. You've got the unmistakably Kia pixel headlights. You've got aero down here to cool your engine. You've also got all your sensors on the bottom there. This little chrome strip across the bottom there as well is very, very smart indeed. It is a nice, low slung, very tidy little family car. And I think I love the way it's very aggressive in this gold colour as well. It's pretty wonderful. I like this a lot. So down the side, you can see it's quite a low car. You've got the panoramic roof and you can see it from up here. You've got the black mirror caps as well and these kind of aero strakes here holding the mirrors on. You've got some black cladding around the wheels just to add to the sportiness, and then the back has privacy glass. You've also got this cutout in the back here which makes the roof look like it's floating a little bit, which is a trick lots of manufacturers do. You've got a real handle on the front, none of this poppy outy nonsense, and then your rear handles are hidden away in this pillar, which is quite nice because it looks lovely and smooth at the back. Down the back here is where you fill her up with actual petrol. And then we come around to the back where it slopes all the way down into this wonderful, huge spoiler. And your windscreen wiper is hidden under there as well. So you do actually get one. You can actually see out this window as well, which is really surprising. Now on the back here, you've got this long bar here, which isn't actually a light bar. You've got the Kia lights either side, which is the kind of light signature, and this bit across the middle here with the camera on it is not lit. So it makes you think it's a light bar, but it actually isn't. It's a very cool looking thing, I think. This does give it the width though, doesn't it? And gives it that kind of stance. And if you look down here, it's got these really pronounced shoulders, which I think look extremely good. Now, even though this is the top level trim, you have to open the boot yourself. It's not a terrible size boot, it is decent, but there is quite a big load lip in here. Now, people complain about load lips, but I actually don't care about them because I think that it's a fairly low car anyway. If you want to put your shopping in there and you open the boot and all your stuff is going to fall everywhere, that's really bloody annoying. So actually having a bit of a load lip is not an issue. Your seats on the back there fold in a 60-40 split, and you've got a ski hatch, which is always very, very handy. In the boot here, you've also got a 12-volt socket, a subwoofer for your tunes on stereo, and some tie-down points and everything. Other than that, there's not an awful lot to tell you about the boot, but it's a very nice space. It's quite squared off. There's no like cubbies down the sides or anything. The space is the space. It's all right. Looking underneath the floor, you have a space there, which looks like it's for a tyre, but it's just got your inflation kit in there. But you could fit a full spare wheel in there. So I'm in the back of the Kia K4, and you know what? I've got decent headroom, I have got plenty of legroom, and the seats are fairly comfortable. In this top level trim, these seats either side are indeed heated as well. Isofix, of course, either side, and then you've got the regular garnishes such as some USBs down here and a little cubby for your sweets. You've got a net pocket on the back of the passenger side seat, but nothing on the back of the driver's seat, which is a little bit odd. And then you've got these weird sort of handles so you can shake your driver to death, which is all a bit strange, but it's all part of the sculpting of the seats. It is very sporty and it is very small, but it doesn't feel tiny inside. It's a bit like Mary Poppins handbag in here because it feels bigger than it should. It is a bit dark though, with the dark headlining, and it's a shame that the panoramic roof, or the sunroof shall we say, doesn't come all the way back to give some more light in the back. Remember, this is the top level trim. If we look at the doors, everything's plastic, but the bits that you touch are squidgy enough, and it's all, you know, fairly well appointed. You've got space there for a bottle, but that's about it. Of course, it's top level trim, so you are also getting the Harman Kardon sound system. But otherwise, you know, there is quite a lot of plastic in here. It is a place where it's going to be fairly easy to clean, which is good. You've also got a pull down armrest in the middle, which is fantastic with your cup holders, and there's your ski hatch as well, so you can pop in stuff that you've bought from B&Q, which is always very handy. So we're inside the front of the K4 now, and it feels a lot like the inside of the Kia EV4, the electric brother of this car. Now, I think this car is aimed squarely at the Golf, to be fair. It's a little bit more aggressive in looks. It doesn't drive quite as well, but it's got a lot of tech. It's a very cool car. Now in here you do have this lovely GT line trim, because it's the GT line S, it's the top trim that you can buy, so it's all very well appointed. You've got things like heated seats and heated steering wheel with your buttons on the door there. You've got buttons for everything, including your mirrors, so you don't have to do any of that jazz on the screen, so that's always very nice. And then you've got your Kia steering wheel, which is exactly as you would expect, with all your buttons and everything on it, and your drive mode selector down here. You've got flappy paddles, so you can change your gears manually if you wish, and then you've got real stalks here for things like your wipers and your lights. So inside here you've got plenty of nice materials. There is still a lot of plastic, but the plastic stuff is all covered and coated and textured, which is all very nice. You have a full-length glove box, which is lovely. As we come over here, now we turn the car on so you can see what we're playing with. You've got your standard fare as it comes to screens. You've got your standard infotainment screen in the middle, your central little screen here, which you can't really see from the driver's seat, for aircon, and then over here you've got your driver display, which is all as you would expect. This is a petrol car, so you've got all your things like how much fuel's in your car, what your range is, just like you have in any other car. But this is all very nice and easy to see, so that's all very good. Now, the piece de resistance, I think, in these Kias is the fact you've got plenty of real buttons. You don't have to go through the screens to do everything. So you've got some real buttons here which affect what's going on the screen, to go shortcuts to your media, etc. Scroll here for your volume, which is super handy because it means your passenger can actually change your volume. It's amazing the amount of cars where you can't do that. You've got these toggles here for your temperature and your air vents, which is such a dream, Kia. You've done a great job with these because it just makes changing things on the go super easy. Your USB-Cs down here, you've also got a 12-volt socket in there and a charger here. This is your gear selector, a proper old gear stick. It feels very much like an old school DSG, and you've got shortcut buttons here for things like your cameras, which are absolutely fantastic in this car. Cup holders down here, so you've got these adjustable cup holders that you can move around and then deploy by pushing the button, which is all very good because it's adjustable. And then you've got a small space in here for your car suites. So all in all, in the front of the K4, it is very well appointed. The seats are extremely comfortable, completely electrically adjustable, of course, as well, and they remember, so when you get in next time, they always move back when you get out, and then they get in, it moves you back to your position. That sort of stuff is all very premium, so it's all very good. And I think the rain is back. This top level trim also gets you the Harman Kardon sound system, and I absolutely love the top level sound system in these because it is brilliant, and that is super important for me, so absolutely brilliant. So today we're driving Kia's Golf. Yes, it's the Kia K4. It's a nice compact family car. It's got a petrol engine with a little sprinkling of hybridization. And do you know what? When it's 60 miles an hour like this, it's really good fun. It's chuckable. There's loads of feeling in the steering wheel. It is a really nice and engaging car to drive. It's obviously got all the practicality, all the safety systems, all the tech that you'd expect from a modern Kia, but it's fun. It's really fun. With this gear stick, it feels like an old Golf with the old DSG gearbox, you know. It's a little bit of a blast from the past, but it's a lot of fun. This is great to drive. It's got enough poke, it's got some real good energy behind it, and it definitely makes you smile. There's a lot to like about this, an awful lot to like. These seats are very comfortable. It's a shame it doesn't have the same headrests as the EV4, it's missing a trick there, but the seats are nice and comfortable. As I said, they're heated and ventilated, so it's all rather lovely. It's got all the tech you can shake a stick at. It's got all the safety systems, it's got heated and ventilated front seats, it's got the little thing that comes up showing you the camera of your blind spot. Now, your view out here is fine as well. You've got decent mirrors, you've got a rear view mirror where you can actually see out the window as well. And of course, you've got all the cameras. So it is a really nice, easy car to drive. And when you pop it into sport mode and you give it some beans, then it puts a smile on your face and it becomes an awful lot of fun. Yes. This is a brilliant, brilliant little car. It is very, very engaging to drive. It really does get you. It really, really does. It's fun. Everything is very, very good with this. Today is a good day driving this, I have to tell you. Let's build our Kia K4, shall we? You've got these different trims. You've got the Pure, you've got the GT Line, the GT Line S with 17-inch alloy wheels, and the GT Line S with 18-inch alloy wheels. And then it comes in white pearl as standard, but if you want to select the sparkling yellow or goldy coloured paint that we have today, then you have to pay extra for that. Now let's have a look here. So Pure gets you the hybrid car, LED headlights, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, 12.3-inch driver display screen, and then a 5.3-inch climate screen, which is that little screen in the middle. If you go for GT Line, which is your mid trim, you get the GT Line exterior styling, privacy glass on the back, forward collision avoidance assist and the wireless phone charger. And then if you go for the top level trim, you get in the sunroof, you get in the digital key and the 2.0 version of the forward collision assist. The car itself starts from 26,795. If you're going for the top level trim, you're looking at 34,795 before you add any other embellishments like your paint, etc. A few other things to note: you got front ventilated seats on the GT Line S. You have got alloy pedals and the Harman Kardon premium sound system. Now, for the difference, it's about £4,000 each way, isn't it? So whether you go for the base or the top level trim does make a big difference to someone like me, because I absolutely love ventilated seats. I think the Harman Kardon sound system is definitely worth an upgrade. Do I really want to go for the bigger wheels? It doesn't really make a lot of difference. I'm quite happy with the 17-inch wheels, but I really would like the sunroof and the ventilated seats. So that is the one I would choose. What would you choose? Please tell me in the comments below. So the Kia K4 is a wonderful small family car, and it's genuinely one I would pick. But would I pick this or the Golf? And that is where I'm stuck, because I absolutely love the Golf and I absolutely love this. I think the Kia gets so many things right, apart from it's not a Golf. But otherwise it is so similar, and there is so much to love about this car, and especially in this colour paint. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. So I'm going to throw it open to you guys. What do you think? Which would you pick? Would you pick a K4 or a Golf? The Golf is actually slightly more pricey, and the K4 does give you all of that feeling. It is a really cool little practical car, and I absolutely recommend it. Thank you very much for watching. Please do like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.